So hi guys. So there's like we will wait for a bit more. We will be starting sharp on 8 o'clock, 10 minutes. So please wait for a few more minutes and yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people already in the live stream waiting for on YouTube. So please go grab a drink, grab a snack. If you want to use the restroom, please do. And yeah, just like we have said, we'll be starting in 6 minutes. So sit tight. to our session. I hope you got a snack, got a drink. Everyone is sitting comfortably and ready. Can anyone show a raise of hands? Who here is ready for the kickoff session? Maybe type it in chat. Yes, I see people: Jade, Angeline, Yusuf, Rainy, Raina. Right. Okay. So thank you for joining this session. Now I'll pass it on to our MC, Wei Hop, and yeah, he'll start the entire session.
Hey guys, welcome to today's kickoff session. I am today's MC. My name is Wei Hop. Hope you guys will be enjoying today's session. So first of all, let's us go through some of the agenda today. Okay, so the first agenda, our GDSC lead will be introducing our club, a little bit about our club, how it works, etc. And then our co-directors of this hackathon, the Google Workspace Hackathon, will be giving a welcoming speech. And for our third agenda, we will be welcoming the co-founder of Reluvate to share some of his insights about this hackathon. Moving on, event team will be presenting the things that you guys are more excited to know, which is the hackathon's event timeline, the judging criteria, as well as the rules and regulations of the hackathon. And next, our amazing marketing team will be presenting our awesome GDSC APU merch, as well as revealing the chosen name of our mascot. And one of the most important part of the agendas, which is the logistics team. They will be sharing the safety rules for our physical events to make sure that you guys enjoy fully during our physical day. And last but not least, the PR team, they will be sharing how you can reach us whenever you have any problems. And also, we will be announcing more prizes to this hackathon. And finally, to wrap things up, we will be having a very short Q&A sessions to answer any questions that you guys have. So let's start our session by welcoming Wei Yang, which is our GDSC lead, to the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Wei Yang. You can just call me Yang if you find my name is too difficult to read. So not much about myself. I'm going to talk more about GDSC APU in general. GDSCs are clubs that are fully endorsed and recognized by Google to have it on different campuses globally. So you can find GDSC Stanford, GDSC MIT. Actually, they are all over the world. Then, when we come back to GDSC APU, it is currently the largest GDSC in Malaysia, thanks to the amazing community that joined us all along the whole year, for my term, of course. Huge appreciation to yourselves. Then, in the way of achieving this, we actually run very systematically in a way that we have at least 2 events every month. Those events revolve around web development, app development, AI data, and cybersecurity. So we have these 4 departments working in rotation to bring out amazing content to you guys. Fourth, the system has helped us to grow our community and also ourselves mutually, where for our term, we have become the largest GDSC in Malaysia, and a lot of our community peers are able to pick up a lot of the hottest technology skills along the way, like facial recognition, cybersecurity, AI attack, not to mention that our mobile development team has just carried out the React Native course. Okay, that's all about GDSC APU. I don't want to ramble. So I will be ending with the way to join this amazing community. Next slide. Right, it's totally free to join us. Just Google search GDSC APU, click onto the first result, then simply click Join Us button. Then I will pass to Suzanne, the proud lead for our largest ever event, Google Workspace Hackathon, to brief more. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Rhea. So honestly, guys, it's truly been an honor to co-direct this event alongside so many peers that I respect so much. So my day job, as you could call it, is being GDSC APU's AI lead, while Johnson is the web dev co-lead at GDSC APU. It's been about a full year since I've joined this team now, and it's honestly been such an amazing journey working alongside one of the most respectable people in the tech industry that I've known. So next slide. So I would really like to thank all of you participants today for making this event possible. It is literally our biggest event yet, and I honestly do not know how to put this into words that we have up until this point, 263 teams registered and a total of 878 participants in our current participant pool. And the thing about this is that our registration hasn't even closed yet. So honestly, we're really hoping to hit the 1,000 mark on our participants pool. So whoever has not joined yet, don't worry, registration is not closed. Please urge your friends to come join in on the fun. Honestly, this will be a truly exciting and momentous event for everyone. Next slide, please. So without further ado, let me introduce a little bit about the purpose of Google Workspace Hackathon. The main goal of this entire hackathon is for us, GDSC APU, to establish ourselves as a platform where student developers, much like all of you guys who are joining, can comfortably explore all of these domains of technology to come up with creative and innovative solutions without feeling like you're too restricted by certain regulations or as though you don't have a lot of space to explore. The whole point of having this hackathon is that you're able to interact with industry experts, get their feedbacks on all of the things that you will be coming up with and pushing these students and all of you guys out of your own comfort zones. And this hackathon will also aim to give you guys some ideas about using technology to solve real world issues and giving you an edge when you graduate. So this hackathon will also serve as a platform where you get to learn more about Google Workspace as well as app scripts as a tool for you to develop these amazing solutions that I have no doubt you will come up with. Next slide, please. So here's our purpose in 3 different activities. The first is for you guys to connect, the second is for you guys to validate, and the third is to enjoy. Now, what do we mean by connect? Through this Google Workspace Hackathon, I have no doubt you'll be able to meet amazing people who are like-minded and people you can really join up in arms with to expand your network to build even more amazing solutions in the future. And second of all, we also want you guys to be able to validate your solutions and have them be given feedback by industry experts who are ready to give you all you need in order to level up your solutions. And finally, people who know me would know this. I am someone who advocates for fun and joy. So do not forget to enjoy doing what you do, because this, I believe, is where the most creative of solutions actually come out of. And I hope you guys seriously enjoy this event. This has been an amazing part of my life. Honestly, it hasn't even started yet, but I will be passing to Johnson to talk more about our hackathon.
Yes, thank you, Suzanne. So first of all, congratulations to everyone for making it this far. Just a small fun fact about me to set the atmosphere. I'm actually also a serial hackathon participant, where I think I've joined almost 20 or 25 hackathons since 2 years ago. So it's amazing that I finally get the opportunity to organize a hackathon. And yeah, kudos to everyone who make it until this far. Not a lot of people, a lot of friends that I know didn't sign up because they were scared on what the hackathon is about. So for those who are here, just know that you're brave enough to sign up, and yeah, you're here enjoying it. So I'll be introducing a little bit about our team for this year's Google Workspace Hackathon. So in case you don't know, Google Workspace actually refers to some of the applications that you use on a daily basis. So for instance, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and also how you sign up for this hackathon, Google Forms. So what we're trying to do this year is that we are trying to let participants to come up with interesting solutions for SMEs. So SMEs basically refers to small and medium-sized enterprise. You may tackle the 5 case studies that we release, which are sales, human resources, finance, marketing, and also operations. Or can you go to the next slide? Yeah. In case you have a better idea in mind, you are able to unleash your creativity by stating your own problem statement and tackling them. So what we're trying to do is we don't want to limit the creativity that you guys have. So in case you have another idea or you think it's more better to tackle it, sure, feel free to do it, but make sure to adhere to the submission guidelines, which Nikki will be covering later. And yeah, I'll pass it back to Wei Hao.
Hi, okay, so thank you very much to Wei Yang, Suzanne, and Johnson for introducing our GDSC club as well as the Google Workspace Hackathon. Next, we shall welcome our anchor sponsor for this hackathon, Andy from Reluvate Technologies, to introduce himself and also what his company is building. Let's welcome him on the stage.
Hey, hi guys. I hope you all can hear me well. Thanks so much for introducing me. My name's Andy. I'm going to take over the slides to show you guys some stuff. And give me a sec. Yep. So just to introduce myself, my name is Andy. I'm the co-founder of Reluvate Technologies. We're actually an AI company headquartered in Singapore. So we have built a couple of products of our own. Typically, we call them SaaS, software as a service, as well as we also do custom solutions. For this hackathon, I'm very privileged to work with the GDSC of APU. I think they're a really great team, and as you can see from the marketing, from design, and from how many people turn up for it, it's really a great team to work with. So specifically from my company, I'm not the only sponsor. There are other supporting partners, but for us, we actually see a large opportunity in building add-ons in the Google Workspace ecosystem. And personally, I believe that Malaysia is a good place to start. There's some facts in case you guys don't know, right? Actually, one of the largest global customers in the world for Google Workspace is actually in Malaysia. For those of you who find out who is it, you can find me during maybe the final day, and then I'll give you a prize, okay? And then the other one is for Microsoft Teams is actually the default for a lot of the large MNCs. Google Workspace is the go-to for small businesses. So I own a startup. My company is not very big, it's about 15 people. So most of my friends at this size, we all use Google Workspace. Okay. So what is something that we hope to see in this hackathon, right? First is that definitely talents. I'm very interested to see the people who get to work in a workspace, specifically dealing with AppScript. And for me, as one of the sponsors, I plan to actually hire people who are full-time or part-time after the hackathon. I mean, for some of you, I mean, most of you are students, so you can earn some money while studying, while working on cool add-ons and extensions. The other one that is a personal dream of mine, because me and my other developer, we are kind of AppScript. We focus on AppScript for the last 5 to 6 months. So we hope to create a strong community in Malaysia. There's not many AppScript developers, I think, even in Asia. So maybe MY can be the first stronghold, right? The last thing is we are really looking for a good solution that solves a user pain point. I'll talk a little bit about this by showing some of the things we have done in Reluvate in terms of the workspace. So we actually created a product called Better Slides. It's not launched yet. I call it really kind of in beta, but just want to give you guys some ideas on what you can actually build on a workspace itself, right? So which is why I didn't go to Canva and I moved on to another slide product, right? So for those of you who Google Slides, well, the product is kind of decent, right? It's actually lacking if you're a serious designer. So for example, right, sometimes if you're a designer, you do things like this where to highlight essentially another part of the object, right? You put a screen over something else so that it becomes de-emphasized. But you try to do it in slides, right? It's not that straightforward. For example, right, if you try to format the options, you realize that there's no transparency option to go to. So one quick thing that if you're a developer, right, you can actually build a simple add-on to actually adjust opacity. So I'll show you one here, right, where we built under Better Slides. Okay, you can't find this on the extension Google Workspace Marketplace. Yeah, we're going to launch it probably in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Then you can download and you can try. So for example, if you change the opacity to 25, then you can do something like this, right? So you can have that effect. So another example is for those of you who, there's a reason why I choose such a bad font Times New Roman. Sometimes you want to change font globally, but not everything gets changed. For example, you go to the master slide, things within the object doesn't get changed. So one of the things that you can build, or rather I think it's interesting to build, is a global font changer. And it's not that hard actually. So for example, if I want to change it to space mono, right? And it takes a while, but you can see that everything changes to space mono, right? So these are the kind of things that if you are a slide designer and you use it often, and as a CEO of my own company, oftentimes I make slides for presentations to clients, you start to find a lot of pain points and you start wanting to build certain things within the workspace ecosystem. So this is just a taster of some of the potential things you can work on. You don't have to work on slides, you can work on docs, on Gmail, and Gmail is a product that really needs a lot of help in my opinion. You can work on Drive and Sheets. So here are some final remarks from me. One is find a problem that honestly, if you are most of you, I suspect you guys are going to use Google Workspace in some way. Find a problem that your team is actually annoyed with. For example, when you use Google Docs to take notes, are there something that you are really annoyed with? Because even for SMEs, a lot of them actually use Google Docs as a way to take minutes for meetings, right? Secondly, I know a lot of you are engineers here, but just note that don't over-engineer things. Simple is often best. From my experience building multiple products, right? And the last one is just a shout out. There's a bonus sharing session on 17 where you won't just hear from me, and there could be other Google Workspace experts around. So I suggest for those teams who are free, do come, because I think one of the most important thing for any hackathon is to understand the context. You need to find the right problem to solve, and identifying the real problems is the most important step in any product development, whether it's this hackathon or the next. Building is actually just icing on the cake. Of course, you have to build well, but you have to get the first step correct. Yeah, so that's it for me. I hope to stay on for Q&A for those of you who have any questions, but if I am unable to, feel free to ping me during 17th July or just reach out to the team. I'll try to answer as much questions as I can. So I'll pass it back on to the main team. And again, like to thank everyone for coming, as well as the organizing team.
Thanks a lot, Andy, for sharing your valuable insights to everyone. And next, we shall welcome our Chengxun, our event team, to the stage to talk about the event timeline, criteria, and rules and regulations.
So throughout the hackathon, we'll be having a bunch of extra bonus sessions to assist you guys in providing the best solutions. It is best that you understand the timeline so that you can produce your solution on time and possibly hopefully and all of the extra sessions that we have prepared. So on Wednesday, 17th of July, the coming Wednesday, we'll be having a hybrid panel discussion with Reluvate, the main sponsor of the event. This session is designed for you guys to gain valuable insights and tips on how to develop innovative extensions to improve the functionality of Google Workspace applications. This event is hosted online and physical, but unfortunately, there are limited seats. So for those whose tickets are rejected, you can join our online session. Again, this session will be hosted on 17th of July, 2024, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So the next extra session, it's on 23rd of July, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., where you will look into Notion Super Website Builder. More information about this event will be released when the event is getting closer. And please don't forget to submit a solution by 29th of July. Next slide. And on the 2nd of August, the top 8 finalists will be announced. Right after the finalist announcements, we will have the AppScript training session on 7th of August from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Physical participation is limited as to the top 8 teams. And finally, we have the pitching day. The pitching day is a physical only event on Saturday, 17th of August, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And now I'll pass to Joey to explain about the judging criteria.
Hi, I'm Joey. A review on the judging criteria for our 2024 Google Hackathon. For the preliminary round, both the technical and business solutions will share equal importance, with each having a weightage of 40%. Your recorded pitch video will contribute to the remaining 20%. And in this hackathon, we aim to collect practical and workable solutions rather than conceptualize good ideas. Therefore, you can see that the weightage for the technical aspect is heavier in this case. And then for the final round, as the business solution has been proven workable in the prelim round, both the live pitching and the business solution will each share 25% of the marking rubric, totaling 50%, and the technical expert will have a 50% weightage here. Next slide, please. So what makes a good solution that can help you to bring our prize pool home? These are the criteria that we are looking for. While working on your solution, you may ask yourself these questions to ensure that you are on the right track. First, ease of implementation. What we mean by this is, can your solution be integrated into the current infrastructure or system easily? Will it require minimal changes, and can it be easily adopted by users of different technical levels? Next, strategic fit. Is your solution able to directly solve the major pain points of our problem statements? To clarify, when we say problem statement, we are referring to the broad problem statement, not the specific domain one. You're free to explore your own domains beyond the 5 mentioned in the guidebooks. Also, your chances of being shortlisted increase if your solution is scalable. Next slide, please. Next, degree of innovation. How new is your solution? Is it radical or incremental innovation? Radical innovation refers to a completely new concept that can disrupt the current markets and alter consumer behavior. Examples include Grab and the smartphone. Radical innovation involves higher risk, but it often comes with higher reward as well. While incremental innovation refers to small improvement made to the existing infrastructure, this could be in case where you spot any pain points or struggles in your daily life and propose a new solution for them. One reality check here is that we welcome all kinds of innovative idea submissions. However, if you have a game-changing idea, please do remember to justify whether your innovation is worth the expected outcome by evaluating your idea's cost-benefit analysis. Next, impact. How impactful is your idea? This is very straightforward. One tip here is to try to quantify your solution's impact. Numbers are more attractive to the judges. For example, if we say, come join our hackathon, our prizes are good, without mentioning what are there, it sounds less attractive, right? The same applies to your solution. Lastly is the level of simplification. Also straightforward. If you tell us that your solution is able to solve the pain points, simplify the current complex process, and even be easy enough for your grandmother to use, you will have a higher chance of getting into our final round. That's all from me. Next, I'll pass to Nikki for the rules and regulation.
Hi everyone, my name is Nikki and I'll be briefing you on the rules and regulations and final submission for the Google Workspace Hackathon 2024. This is an exciting event where we'll explore the theme of developing innovative Google Workspace add-ons using AppScript. So it's important to familiarize yourself with these guidelines to ensure smooth and fair competition. So let's go through the key points. So the first one is grouping. Previous slide, Lisha. Grouping. Google Workspace Hackathon retains solely and absolute authority to decline or disqualify any participant or team at any stage during the hackathon, including after successful registration. This decision will be made at the hackathon's discretion. The next one is participants are prohibited from switching teams after registration and from being members of multiple teams simultaneously. The final one is that the teams for the Google Workspace Hackathon 2024 must comprise of minimum 2 and maximum 4 participants. Individual registrations are not permitted. Next slide. Implementation. So the projects must align with the hackathon's theme of developing innovative Google Workspace add-ons using AppScript. The next one is each team must submit a project proposal deck by round 1 submission deadline, that is 29 July, which is a Monday. Finally, in-person attendance is required for the preliminary round and the final pitching session. So the final submission, next slide. So for the final submission, late submissions will not be accepted and no extensions will be granted. Up to 8 teams will be selected as finalists and must submit their final project, including their codes and demo video, by the final submission deadline. Next slide. So now we'll be talking about the submission part. So we'll be using Google Forms to facilitate the submission of your work. There will be a specific form for you to fill out. It is important to note that each team will only have one opportunity to submit their project during the preliminary round. This means that you need to ensure your submission is complete and accurate before the deadline. For the final round, the selected finalist teams will again use Google Forms to submit their final project, which must include both the code and the demo video. Remember, adherence to these submission guidelines is crucial for your participation in the hackathon. If you have any questions or need assistance with the submission process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you so much. And now I'll be passing it on to Rainy from the marketing department.
Next slide. Okay, so thank you, Nikki. So hi, everyone. My name is Rani, representing the marketing team. So after collecting all the votes, the final name of our mascot is Cookie. So a big thanks to those who have visited our booth and voted. So as you can see here, we have 6 designs. The concept of this design is to apply the 4 Google colors, which are red color, yellow color, green, and red. So there's a G in the middle of the body representing Google, which aligns with the theme of this Google Workspace Hackathon. Next slide. So moving on to our merch, I believe most of you guys have seen it on our Instagram. If you haven't, so let me introduce now. The first merch is Google Pixel Tee. So it's crafted from 100% cotton at 230 GSM. So we can tell that the quality is very good and the material is not see-through. For the design, the front part, as you can see here, will be the Google wordings with our Googie here. And the back part, we will also have Googie featuring our GDSC logo in the middle. So moving on to the next slide, we have this tote bag. The design features eat, sleep, Gemini, and repeat. So as a student from a computing background, I believe we will all understand this. Moving on, we will also have this Google X GDSC lanyard. As you can see, there's a blue part here with the Google wordings and GDSC APU. And it's also connected to a white part with 6 Googie designs. So currently, next slide, we are offering this limited bundle deals at a very affordable price. You can get this exclusive bundle, which includes all of our merch, in only 50 ringgit. So if you have 4 team members, we suggest buying a bundle of 4 teas with each piece priced at only 30 ringgit. Next. So here is the pricing for our other bundles. So you guys can see here. And the promotion is ending this Wednesday. So hurry up to grab your merch. So I will also attach a link later, the Google Form link to make purchase of our sweats. So you guys can click on the link in the comment section to check them out. So moving on, we have this design for the finalist t-shirt. Basically, we will be providing a free t-shirt and lanyard to all the finalists. But the design is not as same as the merch that we sell. For this t-shirt, there's a Google Workspace Hackathon 2024 wordings in front and a Reluvate logo, which is our sponsor's logo in front here. And both sleeves will have an APU logo as well as GDSC APU logo. So that's all from the marketing side. I will pass to Dalton to explain for the logistics. Thank you.
Thanks, Rennie. Hi, fellow participants. My name is Dalton, and I'm the head of logistics for the Google Workspace Hackathon. I'll be showing you how you can get to Audi 5, where you can get your free dinner, and also what to do in case of an emergency. So these are events which are physical. So for attendees who are attending physically, this section is very important for you. So first, there are 2 ways you can get to the venue, either by driving or taking a bus. For drivers who are coming from an external university, you may head over to the visitor parking located next to the main entrance. When you arrive, tell the guard that you are here as a visitor for the Google Workspace Hackathon panel discussion, and they will let you in. Do note that your vehicle car plate number must be the same one that you used to register at the panel discussion form last week. Alternatively, if you are taking public transport, please arrive at LRT Bukit Jalil and catch the bus with APU logo. The bus will arrive at 5:10, 5:20, 5:30, and the last bus will be at 6:20 p.m. Upon boarding the bus, you'll arrive at APU in about 10 to 15 minutes. Then, simply follow the guide shown on the screen to navigate to the Auditorium 5. Next slide. So once you arrive at Auditorium 5, you'll actually see 2 tables in front of the entrance. Here, you can register your attendance and proceed to claim your free bento. For meat eaters, you guys will get a chicken teriyaki set, and for vegetarians, you guys will get a vegetarian grilled fish set. You guys can also choose your drinks, grab your utensils before proceeding to the cafeteria on your left-hand side to enjoy your meal. Do take note that the dining hour is between 5:45 to 6:45, as 7 o'clock will be the time where all of us have to gather in Auditorium 5 for the event to start. So please be punctual. After finishing, kindly dispose your rubbish into the nearest trash can. Next slide. All right. Upon entering the Auditorium 5, you guys can actually sit anywhere you want, but the last 2 rows is strictly reserved for committees only. So it's free sitting in terms of first come, first serve basis. And we also encourage you to bring your own extension to the venue and ensure that your laptop is fully charged because the power plugs in Auditorium 5 are limited. Committees will also bring some for you guys, but in case it's not enough, we encourage you guys to bring your own as well. Next slide. All right, so as for safety regulation, seating arrangement as mentioned was first come, first serve, is first come, first serve basis. So please be early if you want to reserve a good spot. Second, no food or drinks are allowed within the auditorium. Plain water is fine, but anything with an odor is strictly prohibited. Third, committees are seated at the back if you require any medical assistance. So for example, if someone is bleeding or injured in any way, please let us know. Lastly, you are responsible for your own belongings, so please avoid bringing anything that is extra expensive and take good care of your items. All right, next. In case there is an emergency, calmly exit the venue and avoid using the lift at all costs. Follow the black color line and ensure that all your friends and you are gathered at level 1 main lobby for a head count. The committees will then ensure everyone get out safely by counting everyone's attendance, so please cooperate with us. Yeah, last slide. Next slide. All right, so once the event concluded, those who drives can return to their respective vehicle in the parking lot, and those who take buses can follow me or any other committees who are on site that day, and they will guide you to the APU bus stop at 9:30. The bus will depart at 9:40, so from there you guys can go to the LRT and proceed to go home. That's all for my part. I'll be passing on to JJ.
Hello, my name is JJ. So I'll be talking about our communication channels. So as for our communication channels, we are having three different channels. First is the Discord and Instagram and also the WhatsApp. So as for Discord, we are having a general discussions and announcements. So for Discord, you can join our Discord server for open discussions, networking, and also sharing ideas with fellow participants. Whereby announcements, you will stay updated with important announcements from the team by following the announcement channels on Discord. As for WhatsApp, we are having a general chat and announcement as well, where the general chat is for the participants to engage in discussions, ask questions, and share information with other participants. And for the announcement, you guys will be getting a real-time updates and important information through our WhatsApp announcement group. And lastly is our Instagram page. So do follow our Instagram page for regular updates, behind the scenes content, and highlights from the events. So for joining our WhatsApp and Discord group, you guys can ping us after this live stream, and we will provide you a link to join with Discord and our WhatsApp channel. And that's all. I will pass on to Jack.
Thank you, JJ. Hi, everyone. I am Jack. As part of the hackathon, we are excited to announce a special Bounty challenge, which is the Notion Bounty. So this challenge is for the team that can create the most innovative and creative integration with the Notion API. And the team with outstanding integration with Notion API will receive an extra prize of 300 Malaysian ringgit. And yeah, that's all about the Notion Bounty. We are looking forward to see the incredible ideas and solutions you come up with. So now let's move on to the last session tonight, which is the Q&A session. Thank you.
Hi guys, so this session is going to be for questions and answers, so basically Q&A. If you guys have any questions to ask us, whether it be some clarification on timelines and dates or our rules and regulations, or even about how you can pre-order our amazing merch, you can definitely use this time to ask us all of the committees on the spot. And if there are no questions for the next 15 minutes, we will close this session. Okay, so I do see some questions rolling in. So the first question is, do you guys have a cheat sheet for 𝐵𝐵𝐸? So first of all, I would recommend you to attend the session on 17th of July, which is 2 days from now, where a panel discussion will be ongoing for talking about 𝐵𝐵𝐸 as well as workspace tools, and then they will also give you some ideas on what you can develop to kind of answer the problem statements that we have given you guys. So that's first resource. Second is our event team is actually putting together a resource sheet for you guys where you can get a head start on your solutions, and we will provide you with some links that could be helpful in maybe helping you guys understand how to best use 𝐵𝐵𝐸. And second question is, pitching videos will need how many minutes? So for the preliminary round, our pitching video will be restricted at 10 minutes. So at 10 minutes, it will be cut off and nothing that you upload after that will be judged. If a team does not qualify for the final round, are they still eligible for the Notion bounty? Unfortunately, no. The Notion bounty will be awarded to those who are presenting in the final round only. So this is an extra cash prize that will be given out on the day of the finals. So we have to submit a proposal at 17 July. Okay, so sorry about this. This is actually a typo on our end. The first proposal for the preliminary round, the submission will happen on the 29th of July. So we will release these first slides to you guys on the right after the session with all of the revisions that are made, so you guys can refer to that too. So
Yeah, I'd like to jump in on a question I saw. So yeah, I saw that a question was the pitch deck should consist of what, like problem statement. So we'll be releasing a judging criteria soon, but it's up to you and your team to decide what you want to pitch to the judges. So perhaps you may want to start your problem statement with your problem statement, or you would like to start with your solution. So anything goes. But yeah, we'll be releasing a judging criteria soon, and you can structure your entire pitch deck and also your slides based on that. And moving on is, do all members have to be present or can only representatives? We strictly would like to have everyone, all the finalists present on the final day. But if there are unforeseen circumstances or there is anything serious that you cannot attend, please do inform us committees through our channels, maybe on either on Discord or even on Instagram. And the next question is, only current APU students can participate? No, this hackathon is open to all university students. It's the workshops and mentorships only for the final 8. The workshops and mentorships are open to everyone, but we would give higher priority to the finalists once they are confirmed for their physical attendance. But besides that, everyone is welcome to join in on the workshops and mentorships, whether you made it into the final 8 or not. Now, next thing is, for the proposal, is there, this one I mentioned just now, we'll be releasing a judging criteria for it. So you can structure based on that. Next. So are we developing a Google Workspace add-on or a standalone Google Apps Script with Google services is enough? Okay, Andy, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, sure. So actually, well, if you look at the full add-on, it's actually a fuller solution, right? Because then you have like what you saw in Better's slide, there is a front end and you can interact with that. So I would I would say it actually depends on the use case. Because if something like a back end process and then it just needs some script to run, I think it's acceptable. So it's actually on a case by case basis. But I think based on the problem statement you identified, there's actually a natural answer to it. The thing I would say is the fuller your solution is, then the higher you rate based on the judging criteria. So just think about that. But I think a quick pointer, just in case everyone's asking this question, that the first submission is actually on 29, as the whole team has mentioned. But at the first submission, right, we sometimes don't expect like the full solution, right? You may, because you're still given an additional 2 weeks after that to build, 2 to 3 weeks to even build and refine with more like guidance from the mentors and stuff. So just do your best and submit something. But because this is a developer hackathon after all, so make sure there's some code. Yeah.
Yes, the preliminary round, you have to use AppScript as the backend. For final pitching, okay, so interesting fact, for the day on the final pitching, we'll be having some booths from our sponsors, and also potentially there will be a surprise on the final day. But yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, hold on, my screen is frozen. So yeah, for the final day, let me continue. For the final pitching, just if you're not in the top 8 finalist groups, you're more than welcome to attend, as we'll be having booths from our sponsors, and we do have a big surprise, which I think we'll announce it later once we confirmed it. But yeah, do attend the final even though if you couldn't make it.
So maybe I can go on from here because Johnson is experiencing some technical difficulties. So the next question is, can we incorporate hardware into the software solution while abstracting away its physical implementation detail as an API? So maybe Andy will give you a better answer on this, but personally, in my opinion, I feel like nothing can take away from the creativity of your solution. So long as you're delivering a solution that is maybe tailored towards SMEs. And maybe over to you, Andy.
Yeah, so actually the I think the focus is always on the problem. So I know a lot of people here are engineers, developers, people like us like to create solutions, but focus on the problem first. So if your problem is something that requires hardware, and it also naturally involves Google Workspace, as you can bundle it out as API, then it makes sense. But if not, right, then you shouldn't just force the hardware because you want to play some IoT stuff. That's my take. So go back to the problem. If it's a natural hardware-software combination, where the software in this case is some kind of Google Workspace product, then yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Andy, for your answer. So the next question is, for physical / online, when must we attend these workshops in physical? So there are several workshops that do give you the option to attend physically, and this is basically all of our workshops. So please do follow us on Instagram, because that is the platform where we kind of announce the registration forms for you guys to get ahead and kind of register to be a part of the physical attendees. So if you do not manage to register, you should be able to attend online. We have a session just like this one for all of these scheduled workshops. And there is one fully physical event. So this is for all of the finalists during the grand final pitching. So is there a time limit for the pitch? So if you're talking about the finals pitching, our team has decided that the finals pitch will be 7 minutes per team with 3 minutes for Q&A. If a team is qualified for the next round, will the team have to propose a new project title? So absolutely not. If a team is qualified to the next round, you guys just kind of take your project from the preliminary round, and as well as gather from feedback from our preliminary judges and kind of improve on that and present that in the finals. So yeah, time limit, this is answered, the workshop and mentorship should be attended by all the members. So yes, we are making it compulsory for all of you guys to attend the workshop, whether physical or online. But do note that if I know that everyone's schedule is different, and this means that some of you guys may not be able to attend the workshops at the scheduled time, all you guys have to do is rewatch all of our YouTube videos, because we'll be having streams just like this one for each and every one of them. Mentorship is not compulsory. You do not have to schedule a mentoring session. It's not compulsory. So is it a must to use AppScript, or are we free to use any product from Google Workspace? Perhaps Google AppSheet. So it is a must to use AppScript. However, you are free to use any other product from Google Workspace, such as Google AppSheet on top of that. And then, can a student from Singapore join if the student is able to come on the final day? Yes, completely. We are fully supportive of everyone joining from all corners of the world.
Yeah, sorry, just to jump in. Another interesting fact is we actually gotten signups from different, not only in Malaysia and Singapore, we also gotten people to sign up from the US, Canada, and also India. So if you're able to fly here or swim or walk here, yeah, definitely we welcome you, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you in this event.
Yeah, we really want to encourage anyone from every single university. Actually, we are so excited to receive this kind of and level of attention from everyone. The hype that we have been receiving is just amazing, and if you guys are able to attend on the finale, like honestly, just completely free to join. So should every member pitch, or is it sufficient for only one person to do so? When it comes to this, we want every single person on the team to be present on grand finale day, as mentioned by our event team member Nikita earlier. However, not all of you guys have to pitch. Yeah, so it is sufficient for only one person, or however you see fit as arranging, but you might be given points for cohesion if everyone is presenting. So when we record the video, we show the AppSheet final product or just the pitch deck. So we will be, because a lot of people have been requesting for it, we will be coming up with maybe an example of the pitch deck. However, the reason why we were reluctant to share this in the first place was because we want you guys to creatively interpret and kind of pitch a solution the way that you would without following a certain template. So we will be releasing an example template for you guys, but we hope that it won't be something that you follow like 100%, because we want to see how you guys want to pitch if it weren't for these constrictions. So when you see this guide, do not feel pressured to follow everything that we have on it. Typically, when you're presenting, you would have some pitch decks, and then you would have a section for demonstrations. So I hope that answers your question. Where can I find the WhatsApp and Discord link? This should be available to you upon registering as a team. So,
yeah, and also if you need any links, you can always check out our website, hack.gdsc-apu.com. I believe it's in our Instagram also. We have a participant guidebook there and also an FAQ page. So in case any questions you have, you can also refer to that page. And yeah, back to you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Johnson. So for our solution, do we work on improving a Google Workspace app, or do we focus on solving problems using Google Workspace app? So this is the second option. You guys should be focusing on solving problems using the Google Workspace tools that are available to you guys, AppScript, AppSheets, or just the entire Google ecosystem. Use all of these tools to your advantage to develop something that's completely unique and solves the problem statement that you guys have chosen for yourselves. Must everything be presented using the same app? Or if it's be presented using spreadsheet, some using Notion, some using AppSheet or Notion, or everything must be in Notion. So I think you're talking about like the implementation of other things on top of Google Workspace tools. Correct me if I'm wrong later, but from my understanding, you guys can use all of these tools that are available to you. And the Notion bounty is absolutely not a must. You guys do not have to develop something using the Notion API unless you're targeting the bounty. So if you are using the Notion bounty, or targeting for it, what you can do is kind of have implementations, and whatever you choose to present is completely up to your solution at the end of the day. If it's part of your solution to be presented on other platforms, then so be it. So just come up with your solution and present it in the way that you are proud of to show off your amazing product. So what does it mean to have no Figma for a preliminary round but need code? So Figma is a collaborative tool for you guys to kind of come up with prototypes that are not working, but they are high fidelity prototypes. So it's a collaborative tool that's meant for you and your team members to maybe throw some ideas out there, design things as needed. However, we do not accept Figma for submissions. So for our preliminary code, we would need a GitHub link because this is what we'll be using to assess you in terms of the technical aspect. So yeah, it does not mean that you need to develop your full solution by the preliminary round. However, it does mean that maybe you can do a proof of concept or maybe only code the front end. So these are the things that are expected for your preliminary round. So pitching is 10 minutes max. Yes. Can we use more than Google Workspace tools? The focus of this entire hackathon is on Google Workspace tools. So that is something that we are expecting you guys to put on the spotlight. If you're talking about using more than Google Workspace tools, such as using a Notion API because that is available and that is a bounty that you guys can target, then absolutely okay. If you're talking about pulling Spotify API, it's also fine, so long as the platform that you are hosting the entire thing on is mainly saturated on Google Workspace. Yes. Must we use all of these tools to build the solution? Google Workspace tools, AppSheet, and AppScript. So this is completely dependent on the solution that you guys are coming up with. AppScript is a need, but that does not mean that you need to use everything from the whole Google Workspace suite. We will not deduct your score if you do not use Google Docs, for instance. But yeah, hope that answers your question.
I would like to weigh in on this question answer. So the baseline is you have to use AppScript, and with AppScript, you can only use it on Google Workspace applications. So AppSheet in itself is just a front end builder for you for your application. So it's totally depending on how you would like to tackle the problem. But the baseline is you do have to use AppScript to be eligible eligible for submission. Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Johnson. And Joey has already answered this in the chat, but preliminary video submission max time is 10 minutes. Is certificate provided for those who will get it, all participants? So certificates, we will actually provide digital badges to all successful submissions only. So if you have participated and registered in the competition, but you did not submit anything, unfortunately, you will not be entitled to a digital badge. So I hope that answers your question. And that seems to be the last question in the chat. So if you guys don't have anything else to ask now, we will be closing it in about another 2-3 minutes.
Yes, Suzanne, can I just chime in for something so that
Yes.
it's clear? Yeah. So the thing, as what Johnson mentioned, right? The baseline here is AppScript, right? So one of the things that perhaps I'll discuss the organizing team is so AppScript itself as a platform, you can actually share the code directly. For example, if you're working on it on Google Sheets, right, you can actually launch the AppScript within natively. And then some of you, if you're doing very early prototypes, you might not actually integrate with Git in some way. So whether it's also okay to accept AppScript code within, for example, like Google Share, you can just share the project, and there's a link to your AppScript code as well, because you can actually open up all the code within any of the Google Workspace product and stuff. So I think we'll just clarify on that, because there are a couple of questions on Git submissions that I saw. So I think after this, we'll just have a quick discussion and we'll get back to you guys. But I think the gist of it is that we want to see the code, right? Whether you submit, whether it's on a GitHub, on any other platform, or just directly to the AppScript project itself. I think that that code is important, because then it's not just like what Suzanne said, which is just a prototype, like Figma, then you just move screens, but actually underlying it, there's nothing. It's not that there's nothing working, but it's not the AppScript code that we want. Yeah, I think that's my only comment. Thanks. Yeah. And I saw a question: does the solution need to be deployable? I mean, if it's a POC, it should work, and then you must be able to deploy in some way. Whether it's deployable in a case, for example, where you need to find it on the marketplace, I don't think so. At least not at the first submission. I mean, if you want to do it all the way, I mean, I will be impressed. So I mean, that helps your submission. Yep, yeah, and you can listen to Aaron. I think he's giving quite a lot of good kind of help in general. I'll answer a bit more on the AppScript. Okay, AppSheet is fully no code, but AppScript isn't. It's actually code, but it's just a watered down version of JavaScript. So within the AppScript platform, you can actually build front end also. So there's HTML file you can come and edit as well.
Yeah, and for the app sheet, if you can't submit it, I think it's keen that you would do a demo session of it during your submission, so that we can at least get a good concept of what you're building, and the AppScript will just review it and see whether it really works. I saw one interesting question that Suzanne replied, but just gonna say it again. Are any of the organizing committee people joining? No, all of us are not joining in. Yeah, none of us are in the competition as a participant. I see Reluvate also wish that they can join in as well. Maybe we'll open another track for that. Who knows?
I will just answer, I think, Rook's question, right? So the team on Hackathon is called Google Workspace, right? So whatever you build should go and enhance the Google Workspace ecosystem. So if you are going to build your own, for example, own system and just using Google Workspace as a part of it, then I think it's a bit different. But again, it's case by case. Again, what problem are you seeing and why are you trying to solve it? If you have a very specific thing you're thinking about, come on 17 and ask that, and maybe the panelists will help to clarify those things. Is it a heavily code competition? This is a coding competition, yes.
Yeah, like to highlight that. So for what we presented just now, the judging criteria does also weigh in the technical aspect of your solution. So under that technical aspect, we do evaluate on your code and how the solution actually functions technically. So yes, it does include quite a bit of coding, but I would say AppScript is still quite easy to learn, if I'm right, Andy.
Yeah, and as you probably will realize, you guys who have built, because we have been using it for some time, right? There are some limitations to AppScript. So which is why there are also people who built other things to support the AppScript ecosystem. But I think it's a fun, simple language to play with, and a lot of things are abstracted out already. To just supplement Aaron's question, yeah, he's exactly right. You don't really need a workspace, professional account, do a lot of things, but just know that for the professional accounts, you have more limits. You can do more things. Maybe you can change more calendar events and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, I see another question. Could you share more on preliminary round submission? Is there any physical presentation required? No, for the preliminary round submission, everything will be done on virtual. So what you will have to do is you will have to submit your preliminary rounds from Google Forms, which will open soon, I think. Yeah, we'll be opening it soon. Next question. For AI-driven content, since we will be using Google's ecosystem, does that include Firebase? Sure. That's also away. Yes, you can use Firebase. Go for it. Next. Do we need to have specific fields such as marketing on pharmacy or something, or we can do it general? Okay, so just like we mentioned just now, we do provide 5 case studies which you can refer to, or if you think that you have another idea that it's more suitable, or you think it's the next big thing, go for it. Okay, just try your best to be creative in solving SME problems. Next, we submit proposal and the submission documents to. Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's what the submission is. You have to submit the documents together. I'm quite new to AppScript. From what I know, AppScript is more to a front-end things. Is it possible to build a backend ourselves that can be called with the AppScript? AppScript is, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, AppScript is for backend, right? Mostly backend.
Yeah, actually. I mean that yeah, you interact with a front end through a HTML file within the AppScript also. So yeah, okay, here's the thing, right? If your solution involves you building entirely on a different ecosystem, and then you have just like 2 lines of AppScript code to do certain things, then then it kind of defeats the purpose of the crux of the hackathon, which is what Johnson says, AppScript as a base, right? So yeah, I know a lot of you guys are new to AppScript. In fact, I really doubt any of you guys here are using that on a day-to-day basis, because it's not that popular of a language, which is why the hackathon exists, right? For you guys to play around and explore the new kind of what I call watered down version of JavaScript, right? So do, if possible, yeah, work more on the platform, because if your solution is fully out of it, I think when the judges see it, they'll just mark accordingly based on the criteria, which again, as said, AppScript has to form kind of the core.
Yeah, next question. Can I host my solution on my Google sites as it is part of Google Workspace? The visitors of my site are the SMB clients who will use my solution via my Google Sites website. Sure, why not? That would be
for better sites, we actually host it on Google Sites. Google Sites is not a great website builder, but it's very basic, and you can use it to easily integrate with the entire ecosystem if you want to.
Yeah. Any more questions? Feel free to ask them. Or if you're attending 17th of July, which is 2 days from now on Wednesday, you can catch all of us committees, and as well as Andy and also other panelists, and you can have a more interactive question asking experience. And yeah, I see another question about the business solutions part. Do we need to design our solution as a pay-to-use solution? Suzanne is so pretty. Okay, we'll skip the second part first, but yeah, maybe Andy, you can share a little bit insights. Does the idea have to be profitable? I would assume yes.
I mean, I would love for it, because we are all a business after all, and we're looking for things that are essentially people will pay for. Because if it's really a real pain point, then people will be then willing to fork out like money to solve it. But okay, there are some things that when you talk about impact, there are also other types of impact, right? There are impact where it's sometimes not just no one's willing to pay because it's a public type of good. So I wouldn't just preclude other solutions, even though it's for social benefit and stuff like that, because those things are useful. But again, I think it's most important, if you're concerned about these things, right, to just read the judging criteria quite strict, not say quite strict, quite clearly, right, and then just go based on that. I think that will inform most of the things. But you ask me on a more personal front, I'm not opposed, but I would prefer if things can be a business, right? Because if it's a real business, then we are solving, to me, a real pain point. Yeah. Am I a programmer? Yeah. So I developed. Okay, my background is actually more a stats data science guy, but eventually I went on to develop web apps. So I'm very familiar in the Python ecosystem. So I do things on Django. Usually last time I do full Django, but nowadays we have React components as well. But AppScript is kind of new to me as well. I started about kind of last year. So if you ask me any tips on joining hackathon, you should ask Johnson, who is a serial hackathon participant. But for me, the key thing is actually the problem. If you identify the right problem that is real, and then actually finding a solution is quite easy, and then you just build it. So so for Kong's question, I don't think I think the limitations is not like it's more about the usage. So we can clarify on that. I mean, I'll go back and check because of course I have a company account, but from as what I remember and what I'm familiar with, instead of you're unable to use any feature, it's more about your rate is limited as a personal account. So I think for proof of concept submission, I think it's fine.
Yeah, just to shed some light on the previous questions for any tips on joining hackathon, just one thing I'd like to share really quick is for your solution in hackathons, I don't get too complicated with it. So when you start to complicate things, the solution becomes harder to build. And when the solution becomes harder to build, it'll take more time, and in the end, you won't have any product to show. So rather than trying to solve, like, for instance, just a scenario you want to solve like Google Sheets. No, let me think of a good scenario. Yeah, okay. Just like okay, so for one scenario, maybe you want to solve changing the entire theme of Google Slides with just one tab, but you can't develop that in time. So maybe I would suggest, hey, why not setting variables as colors and changing those variables one by one? So that's a more manageable approach rather than trying to, you can break down basically what you want to do into smaller components and then work one by one until you get to your final goal. Then it will be more easier to manage rather than trying to build the entire thing straight away. Yeah. And next question is, does it mean that as long as our problem statement helps the business and is within the team with creative ideas, we will have higher chance of getting into finals? Most definitely, yes. If you're able to accomplish all of this, yes, you would have a higher chance. But do remember, other people also have higher chances as well if they are having the same mindset as you. Yeah, and thank you, Andy, for sharing some guides in the chat. And next, may I ask who will be the judges? Andy here would be one of the final judges.
But they will release the other judges later, so I'm not the only one. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we'll be having two different sets of judges. One is the prelim judges, and also another is finals. So we'll be posting that shortly once we confirm all our judges on our social media account and also on our website. So I think that's also answers Lim's question. Who do we have to impress? Basically, the judges. Yeah, you do have to impress the judges. If you impress the committees, maybe we can arrange a special prize if we have the effort for it. Yeah. So, any more questions? But while we wait for others, Andy, maybe you can share about what kind of expectations you have for this hackathon.
Okay, sure. That I can answer Jason's question, right? So, I think if you go back to the first few slides, right, the one of the problem statement was to help SMEs. And you can build a workspace solution to help enable SMEs to work better. So the reason why this was set out, right, is because In my company, I actually work with a lot of SMEs or SMBs, like you call it in Malaysia, small, medium-sized businesses. A lot of them use Google Workspace, but as you know, Google Workspace often is not integrated very well with each other. So if you want to have something, a fuller solution, right, like connecting your Google Sheets to Gmail, a lot of people are doing very manual work. But you can imagine a case where you build something to combine them via AppScript, or even in some cases, AppSheet can also work. So that's one problem statement that is given. But as I think the organizing team added on, you can actually expand out of that domain to look at any problem where a Google Workspace user might also face, right? For example, as students, if you guys have a lot of issues taking notes and you want on Google Docs and you want to do something superior, or you like the Notion note-taking style and you want to integrate them in some way, go ahead. Yeah. So those are the kind of solutions that I think are also perfectly acceptable. The main thing is, right, always start with the problem. Is the problem real? Is there a real pain point? And usually if you are, and the pain point, is it just yours only? Or is it a group of your friends experiencing it? If you start from there, generally you won't go wrong. The SME pain points might be hard for you all to understand. So which is why you have some time until the first submission. Go and ask your friends who have their own startups. Go and ask, you go and buy your cai peng or sub fund, right? You can just go and talk to them, ask them what problem. Of course, they won't be using Google Workspace. I mean, some of them might, right? So just ask people on that and see whether they can gather any kind of pain points for any kind of shops that you know, and then you may be able to find something worthwhile. Or you can also do your own online research, right? Yeah, so I will answer that and then back to Johnson's question. What is the most annoying frustration problem when working at SME? Oftentimes people, yeah, but if you're talking about technical stuff, there's a lot of manual work in a SME. A lot of things are not automated yet. It's hard for me to describe because you guys have to work in a small company to experience it, to know actually how inefficient even medium-sized companies can be, right? So just sharing, I worked for a medium-sized company as a consultant before, as tech consultant, and then we realized that they were still printing out their sheets in A3 size paper up to today. Yeah. So where most of us would just like change the sheet values on the computer. Yeah. So on expectation hackathon, right? I think if you ask me about what would wow the judges, right? Just know that a lot of the judges are professionals. So and a lot of them, most of them will be using Google Workspace, right? If not, then most of them won't be a judge, right? Because they are usually people who are familiar or they have some links to Google in some ways. So I would say if your solution is something that, again, I might sound like a record player already, right? Because solve a real pain point, I think everyone will know and feel it. So my better slides product, right? You show it to any designers, they will immediately get why is it useful, right? Because I solve a problem for myself who actually designs slides. Yes. So as Aaron said, you can build entirely standalone on AppScript and deploy it on the marketplace. That's why we chose the language. It's actually end-to-end, but there are some limitations, of course. That we can talk about it more during the more in-depth training.
Yeah, I think there's a question, what if the final product can solve the micro business, less than 5 people, but not actually be the solution for small businesses and medium businesses?
Yeah.
Andy, would you like to?
Yeah, so the thing you guys need to know, right, is that, I mean, I use SMB as a very broad category, right? Actually, more than 95% of Malaysia's businesses are SMBs. In fact, most of them are what you described, the micro businesses. Of course, in terms of revenue, the big guys, the conglomerates, they take out more than 80% of revenue in the entire country. But actually, most of the businesses are very small. So even though you might be thinking of solving a small problem, even less than 5 packs, right? There's so many of those less than 5 packs businesses on Google Workspace. You're actually solving a problem for a lot of people. So I think it's also perfectly acceptable. The reason why you're asking that is, then you think, is it worth solving, right? Then it's actually a business problem. Then do you think that it's a market big enough to price something? I would say actually yes. So if it's 5 packs business, right? A 5 packs business, right, might not be able to pay for example, a full business suite. if they don't have money to buy like I don't know whether you all know like Sage or Zoho, all these kind of tools, but they might be able to pay you, let's say 10 ringgit, 12 ringgit, 15 ringgit, maybe 5 ringgit per person, times 5, 25 ringgit a month to use your add-ons. So I would say it also depends on how you want to position your product. But this is not a business class. We can talk about it separately. But I think it is fine, even if you're targeting micro businesses. You just need to think about what are the pain points again. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing, honestly. Yeah.
Yep, well said. And yeah, I think let's wrap up today's session. If you have any questions, do remember to check out the FAQ page on our website. And yeah, we'll be on our social channels, Instagram, Discord. And if you have any questions, do find us on those channels. And thank you, Andy, for clearing up your schedule for this session. And yeah,
My pleasure. Yeah.
see you all on Wednesday for the physical sharing session.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for attending this session. I look forward to seeing you all 2 days later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.